Explanation. Noun. 1. Countable, uncountable. A statement, fact, or situation that tells you why something happened. A reason given for something. The most likely explanation is that his plane was delayed. 2 hours. Provide an explanation. Explanation for something. I can't think of any possible explanation for his absence. Explanation for doing something. She didn't give an adequate explanation for being late. Explanation of something. The book opens with an explanation of why some drugs are banned. Explanation as to why. An explanation as to why he had left early. She left the room abruptly without explanation. I had to see you, he said, by way of explanation. 2. Countable. A statement or piece of writing that tells you how something works or makes something easier to understand. For a full explanation of how the machine works, turn to page 5. The teacher gave the children a detailed explanation of the story. Extra examples. I've worked with them before. You see, he added in explanation. A more credible explanation now occurred to her. An explanation is clearly called for. Another quite plausible explanation presented itself. He entered into a technical explanation about software and programming. He only offered a partial explanation for his lateness. He provided no explanation as to why he was late. Her success has been so remarkable as to defy explanation. I could think of one possible explanation for her behavior. I had no explanation for her strange behavior. I suppose you deserve an explanation. I think you owe me an explanation. It's the only explanation that makes any kind of sense. No further explanation is necessary. No single clear explanation emerged from the experiment. Several possible explanations exist. She launched into a detailed explanation of every aspect of her work. She left suddenly and without explanation. She wrote to the company demanding an explanation. The causal explanation must be that old age causes poverty, not that poverty causes people to be old. The man left quickly with no attempt at explanation. The simplest explanation for his achievements lies in his greater ability and superiority over his contemporaries at college. There is no generally accepted explanation of this practice. There is probably some perfectly logical explanation for their absence. There was no apparent explanation for the attack. There's sure to be a perfectly innocent explanation for all this, though I admit it looks bizarre. We are still waiting for a full explanation from the teacher concerned. One explanation advanced by Marxist historians. Post hoc explanations of historical changes that would have made no sense to anyone living at the time. The common explanations for cancer. He gave a somewhat confused explanation as to why he had left early. I can't think of any possible explanation for his absence. She didn't give an adequate explanation for being late. She left the room abruptly without explanation.